Hello and welcome to my 7th video on IB Psychology. Today we're talking about the biological perspective. My name's Linnea Karlberg and I'm an IB 12 student. If you pause the video right now, you can read what the IB requires you to know about genetics. This is going to be one out of a few videos regarding this topic. Right now we're going to go through a few concepts and terminology. And this is a continuation of the prior slide. Humans have about 20,000 to 25,000 genes, and genes are made up of DNA, which provides the blueprint for the structure and function of the human body, and that, of course, could include behavior. DNA codes for a specific protein, and the proteins are architects of the cell, meaning that they determine what type of cell a stem cell becomes. The father's genetic material integrated with mother's via the joining of sperm and egg. The sperm contains 23 chromosomes and the egg contains 23 more. It's then these 46 chromosomes that make up the genetic information that makes us. Not all genes an individual possesses are simultaneously active. They can be turned either on or off. Biochemical and environmental factors affecting regulation of gene expression. Having a gene for a particular behavior does not necessarily mean that an individual will exhibit that behavior. So, in other words, the gene for perfect pitch must be turned on by the environmental factors of musical training for it to be expressed. So you could have the potential for the perfect pitch inside you right now, but without the appropriately timed environmental influence, the gene will remain off. Well, then what are some factors that affect gene expression? Well, genes are switched on and off by signals from inside and outside the body. Internal signals include the presence of hormones or other chemicals, or indeed other genes. Hormones are frequently produced as a result of environmental events and work by altering gene expression. There are countless environmental events that also affect gene expression. The signal activates special proteins that can promote or block the expression of a gene. So genes are constantly being switched on and off, and this is called gene regulation, that process. Sometimes genes are permanently switched off, and that's known as gene repression, mostly achieved through methylation of the DNA molecule as part of the developmental process. Gene expression is then when a gene initiates the process of protein formation and therefore activates the cell according to the protein that the genetic blueprint creates. And this effect on genes is sometimes referred to as epigenetics, as there is no alteration in the actual structure of the DNA. And mutations occur when there is an actual alteration of the DNA. Methylation is the way your body turns off a gene, and that's done by adding a methyl group to a gene. Methylated genes in a cell are unable to be transcripted into mRNA, which is then repressed. This allows the cell to create the singular protein necessary to fulfill its biological duty. But we don't know why it happens or what prompts it to occur. The opposite is known as histone acetylation. This is a process whereby a gene is turned on or expressed. And so a chemical from the acetyl group is added to the gene, and this enables transcription into RNA by loosening the gene from the histone it is wrapped up in, and in turn enables mRNA to do its job copying the gene. Epigenetics is referred to stably heritable phenotype resulting from changes in a chromosome without alteration in the DNA sequence. So changes in genetic expression as a result of chemical reactions that occur in the DNA that are external to the genome. And a phenotype, that means the observable characteristic of an organism, the product of its genes and the environment. An example of this would be a woman who smokes while pregnant, who induces epigenetic changes in 3 generations at once. Herself, her unborn daughter, and her daughter's reproductive cells. Thus, we really need to think about the behaviors that we do, because we can be affecting generations to come. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know if you have any questions.